crazy, amazing mortals.
We've been dying to see you.
Okay, so Katrina and I are just getting in the mood to talk about Halloween.
Yes.
And Katrina, the awesome way you and Ken give back at this time of year.
Hi, I'm Ken.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That guy.
Yes, here
You're talking to her. Talk to me, too.
With our illustrious producer and, oh, yes, my husband, Mr. Ken Carlson, on location at our house.
Right. So if you're listening to this episode, great. Then go back and watch it on YouTube. You get a little gander of all the cool stuff that they've got going on.
We have a Frankenstein and a Dracula.
Right.
It's frightening how over the top we
The
are.
Wicked Witch is flirting with Ken right now. So I need to share that it's taken me years to get these two to agree to let me interview them about their Halloween extravaganza.
And we were hoping for more years.
No, now is the time. They do it every year to benefit their community, and it also serves as a fundraiser to benefit Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
This is true. We love them, and it's been fun, right? And
Great
it has
cause.
been a bit of a twisting of the arm. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit
it was
uncomfortable
painful,
with this, but
we're here.
You know, Jefferson is very persuasive.
I try.
So we are happy to be here, and we're happy to tell you all about it.
We want to share this holiday with you.
And we think,
you.
too, it's important for you all to understand how we manifest our
mission
statement to give back. In the spirit of Halloween, I have a Halloween dad joke for all y'all.
Okay.
Why wouldn't a skeleton go trick-or-treating? Because it didn't have the guts.
Oh, geez.
Well, Jefferson, in the spirit of Casper the Friendly Ghost, Ken. Boo.
Hi, this is Cheryl Wudunn, and you're listening to the Crazy Amazing Humans podcast with Katrina Carlson and Jefferson Denim.
All right, y'all, here we are back again for our Halloween extravaganza.
Woo!
So I want to start off with maybe something everyone can kind of relate to. I don't know if you all have the same childhood, but childhood, we all have a childhood. I want to ask about yours specifically. For both of you, was Halloween a big deal when you were young? I mean, what experiences did you guys have as kids?
Okay, Ken, I'm going to let you start this.
Well, Halloween in Ohio was huge. I grew up in a neighborhood that had just a ton of kids, and when Halloween came around, it was the greatest thing. You know, we love Christmas, but Halloween was sacred. And one of the reasons why it was sacred is because I am a preacher's kid, now known as T.O., theological offspring.
Nice.
But my father was allowed to be evil one time out of the year, and he was really good at it.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he would sit...
was there a dungeon at your house?
Yes, actually, we've talked about that. Ohio dungeon's not a good idea to go
I
in.
got you. Okay, so please continue.
So he would sit on Halloween night, would sit in a rocking chair with just a sheet over his head and then a mask and one claw sticking out and scary music and a strobe light. And he'd rock back and forth and go...
Like
and
on
music,
your porch?
On the porch.
Yes.
And kids would just stand out in the street and stare, and no one would come up. So
you save money on candy that way.
There's two reasons they didn't come up. One, they were scared to death, and two, he was giving out raisins. Boxes of raisins, right? So who really cared, right?
Oh, it's that house.
The worst.
So he, in our youth group, in our church, we were allowed to create haunted houses, and we went full board. I mean, it was, we did some incredible things, and once again, it was just a bonding kind of thing for our youth group and for our church. And so Katrina and I, have kind of taken the concept of Halloween and what I grew up with and scaled it a bit.
Scaled it a bit.
Just a bit.
All right, we'll get to all that, but Katrina, how about your childhood experiences?
My childhood experience. So I grew up in Arizona, and we had trick-or-treat, and we loved trick-or-treat. And I have to say, my sisters and I, there were 4 of us at the bottom of our 11 kids, and there were 4 little girls, and we were a bit of candy fiends. We were candy fiends. So
the dentist loved you guys, I bet.
That Halloween we could go places and get free candy, it was just like, that was a dream come true. So, I mean, honestly, I think my whole life was about how can I get more candy. It really was. It was weird. It's strange.
Right. Hey,
so, we grew up in a myth of scarcity in my family. So there were 11 kids, so all the food was gone all the time. You could never get dessert because somebody ate it before you. So this is why candy, if that makes any sense. And one Halloween, so my dad was kind of cranky and didn't really like Halloween. And so he one Halloween flat out would not let us go trick-or-treating. He said, you kids don't need to go out and beg people for candy. And, you're not going trick-or-treating. I literally stayed home and cried one night. So that's it. And also, I have a thing where we would build forts and put on plays and do things like that. So for me, make-believe and creating things is in my DNA as well.
So quick question, when you would get all your candy, did you have to hide it or were people stealing it?
Oh, we totally hid it. Of course, it was in the pillowcase.
Yes,
and then we would hide it from each other even. But we would do the whole trade at the end, pour out the pillowcase and see who you could trade it. My
Who
sister,
got the most Snickers?
She liked Almond Joy. I'm like, really? Give me that Snickers. So yeah, we would trade.
Well, then it worked out perfectly.
Yes.
So who got the raisins? I want to know.
So what we've done now, we have this agreement that we're in all our rooms and everything. We put candy like this.
We have candy.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing this.
Yeah, we have a lot of candy here.
gosh.
I don't even eat candy anymore, but
favorite.
barely. But yes, we love these.
Where's the Reese's
candies.
peanut butter cups? I don't see
and
them
kids,
here.
Right here.
candy's not good for you, kids.
Oh, they are here. Okay, so
But,
again, watch this on
in
YouTube.
moderation,
You'll see.
kids.
All right, so when you two met in college is when you met. Did you start to share about this and you go, you too? And that's what sealed the deal,
It
right?
would be very cute if we did, but not really.
Well, but I will say that we met in September.
Yes.
And of course, what rolls around in October, and we both thought it would be fun to dress up.
We both were like, yes, let's go trick-or-treating.
So,
and even
in
though
college,
I'm 8, I had just, I was 18 still.
I thought you were 13.
Whoa,
So I was 18.
was.
I turned 9, my birthday's in November. So anyways, I was 18. It was my sophomore year in college. And Ken and I started dating in September. And when it came to Halloween, we both were on board for trick-or-treating.
Absolutely. And you can understand there's not a lot of college students at Brown going out trick-or-treating, but we literally went to the neighborhood.
I'm sorry,
we
we're
didn't go to the
18 and
fraternities
20
and sororities and do a shot. We literally went to the homes and knocked in there. And I was a spider and she was
I
the
was
web.
his web.
And so we literally they would open, we stand there and they would open up the door and Katrina would go like this, the web.
Right.
And I'd be like, with the third sock leg, like this. And they'd be, they shut the door and laugh at us.
So if you're in the fraternity,
We got candy in Providence.
But
That's what mattered. There's the
but did you share? I don't know.
We did. We shared.
I gave her all my almond joys.
So if you're in a fraternity or sorority, make sure you go trick-or-treating. Don't do shots. All right. So tell everyone what happens here at your home every Halloween. What is the process for you? Because I know it's intensive for you to create Halloween every year.
Okay. Ken, you start with some phone calls early on.
Well, yeah. Do you want to know the process or how this whole thing started?
No, I'll get to that.
Okay.
The
So
process. How do you make this?
The process. Well, first of all, we have a rule. We do not talk about Halloween until August rolls around.
Yeah, don't send us anything about Halloween.
It's called Halloween trauma. No. So we do it so big and so often, once a year, that we kind of, when August rolls around, we realize, okay, the stuffed animals, we give a stuffed animal to every kid. They need to be ordered. The tombstones need to be ordered. A lot of this stuff we own. So we have them stored next door, and we have them stored in a pod, storage pod, and we have to coordinate that. We have to have them come, and then we have to talk to, coordinate the fortune teller, and then all the pieces start falling, like all of the food.
Right.
But the biggest thing is for the neighborhood is the kids know on October 1st, if there's a pumpkin on the roof, an inflatable pumpkin, which there is now, that means game on. And October 1st,
so
we
that's
walked
when
out.
We start decorating. We
and there
don't
were
start
3 or
before
4
October
kids
1st.
just hanging out in the morning, looking up and
waiting for the pumpkin.
And so I said, you know what? Give me a second. Let me.
Now, people who
They're like
don't
tapping
know,
their
in
foot going,
September, as September wears on, they're like, why don't you have decorations up yet? And we say,
Right.
we don't start till October 1st. We
Right.
just have a strict rule. We don't want to terrorize the neighbors either, or the neighborhood.
Not
So
just
we
yet.
try to keep it to 1 month.
So that's where the great pumpkin
Right,
is.
right. And so we have the outdoor trick-or-treating event and the backyard party. So we've got a plan for a very large party and for a lot of decorations out front.
But I will say, we don't want to scare the living daylights out of the neighborhood too early or get them, conditioned. So we do our interior so we can live with it.
Yes, we do that in
one of the
September.
first things we do, Katrina and Xander and I put together Halloween Village, and it's right across from us over here.
Yes,
And we did that in early September this year, which we normally do sometime in September. And that way we can live with it and breathe it and become part of it.
And so just so you all know, dear viewers and dear listeners, I usually, about this time of year is when I offer to help because all the work's done. So pretty cool.
That's Jefferson Denim.
That's me.
And then we bring out the candy corn and all the interior, the decorations come out. And pretty much by mid to late September, the interior is done. And candy corn is out and we start getting, our sugar fix.
Okay. The Hollywood Reporter did a wonderful write-up about your amazing Halloween event. So it didn't always start this big, did it? I mean, you said it scaled up.
No.
So how did it grow from where it started to what it is today?
Well, when we had just had our first child, who is now 26, and yeah, I know. And we had a very nice couple that we were friends, and we met in our Lamaze class, and we had just started building this house that we're in right now, and it was in the browning phase. So we decided we'd go over and kind of see if we were going to get trick-or-treaters, because we lived in a different area in a condo, and we never had trick-or-treaters. So we were very excited about having a house because we knew we could get trick-or-treaters. And this whole thing was started because of we wanted someone to knock on our door and go, trick-or-treat, and see the kids, and they're so cute.
Say that again.
I know, to
give
really
kids the experience, the fun
unfortunately,
experience.
That's what it's all
too
about.
big now, so we don't get the kids on our door, trick-or-treating, because we have to be the door's open the whole time. So then Ken has a great story about how we came here that night. I love it when you tell it. So.
I don't know about great, but it
it's
is
your
a story.
Yes, it's your story.
So,
I love the way
as she
you
said,
tell
we
it.
were in the browning stage of building this home, and so we put strobe lights in the cavernous windows when there was no window, just holes, and scary music and some lights outside. And I was a mummy. Two of us were mummies, my friend.
Yeah,
and so
funny,
Katrina, of course, was dealing with the children.
We were holding our baby.
So she was the real mummy.
And so we're walking around.
But we were dressed up because it was Halloween.
Yeah,
we were all
nice.
dressed up.
And we were, stumbling around the construction site, and
mummies, these two
and
guys.
handing out candy through chain link fence. I mean, that's how
literally.
desperate we were to have trick or treaters. Like, come over here, young. Anyway,
Literally through the chain.
So all of a sudden, I hear
open.
this. Hey, over here. I'm like, what? I look over, and there is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, come here. I'm like, oh, okay. We go over, and the two of us are standing there. And he goes, this is fantastic. I love this. This is the best.
Oh,
and he goes, stay right there. We're like, okay, stay right here. Arnold, is telling us to stay right here. So I guess we will. This huge uppercase T.
Yeah.
And so he leaves, and we're standing there, okay, and lo and behold, 5 minutes later, he comes walking back with Lou Ferrigno. And the two of them are standing. He goes, see, I told you, isn't it great? This is fantastic, right? And he's like, yeah, this is great. So we knew we had at that point in time something, that could be fun for the neighborhood.
It was just fun to experience that. And everyone was loving it. The kids were loving it.
Kids were loving it.
Right.
People thought it was cool.
So here it started, and you were getting a great reaction. You thought, you know what, I'm going to scale this up.
We just thought we were in for a good Halloween in this house.
Yeah,
This looks
we
good.
knew we were in a neighborhood that loved to trick or treat.
Right.
And so right down the street, six houses down from us, there was a couple, a family that had been doing this for 20 some years, had been doing more of a carnival. That Sheila and Maynard Ostro, may they rest in peace, amazing people. And they had a sign out front, and Katrina's pointed out to me, hey, it says that this is their last year, and please do not bother the owners next year because they've been doing this so long, they don't want to be pestered.
Right. So I think
it said, so Katrina's like, hey, maybe we can.
Yeah, maybe we can, do what they're doing. So we said, this is so amazing. Where do you get the stuffed animals? How do you do this? He goes, well, actually, I'm a carnival concessionaire, and so I get all these wholesale. And we just said, hey, do you mind? We're building on the corner. Could we possibly get the stuffed animals from you and continue the tradition on the street? And he was thrilled.
Wow.
So
because he knew that they had snow cones and balloons and hot dogs.
Yeah, they had hot dogs.
And it was just a really cute.
But it was very small, and they probably got about 500.
Yeah, he said 500-600.
He said 500-600 trick-or-treaters.
So every year.
And we were like, yay, this is going to be fantastic.
So Katrina and I would go over in August, not July.
They moved about a mile away.
We would go to their home, and he, in his garage, would show us the selection of plush toys, stuffed animals that we could choose from, and then we'd put our order in, and we traditionally were doing like 3,200 stuffed animals. We're talking about not little key rings. We're talking about
But
stuffed
back in the
animals.
day,
Wow.
back
So
in the day,
for our
we got
viewer,
them for a good price.
for those not watching, how big of an animal, a stuffed animal?
About 30 feet.
No, it depended on
About
the year.
12 to
yeah.
anywhere from 8 to 16 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's the genesis.
Yeah,
That's
and we also give candy simultaneously, like these little
Right.
cute little fun size candy.
And we saw the kids at Maynard and Sheila's house. Just it
was so
they
cute.
were amazed, and we saw that little bit of magic, and we thought why don't we do it at our house? But we didn't think we would make it big.
No,
we just
we were just
we
like,
just
we're
wanted
gonna
to
do
kind
this.
of
You saw a need
continue
and
the
you stepped into
tradition,
that gap.
and then it just happened.
And it was
that
sweet because we could see that people came from all over the city, and that
all kinds of demographics.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And so that felt really good. Like, this is giving back. This is a real community thing. This
Right.
is, people like we at some point our friend was saying, you guys keep the dream alive of Halloween. You keep the dream alive, and that's the thing. I mean, the idea. What I felt when I was a kid, I get to go to a house and they're going to give me candy for free. So
There
it's
is
that
a God.
kind of like random act of kindness feel.
Right.
So that's kind of how it started.
And that's the magic,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we really. This is for the kids. Of course, it goes wider than that,
Mm-hmm.
but to see their wonderment outside, and just we hear it all night long because
Right.
you kids running up, look, there's a witch, oh my gosh, the werewolf. Our friends just wrote us and said, hey, this was in September, when's the werewolf coming out, right?
Yes.
And so the
My
kids are
son's
like,
favorite is the werewolf.
they
Yeah,
call
yeah.
this the wolf house.
yeah.
And so we get this. We had a little boy the other night, Chase, who comes here 3 to 4 times a week. And he was out front with, he said what? At 9 years old, he looked at us and said, can I say something? And we're like, sure. So we stood
And he
there
kind
and he
of
said,
like stood up straight and he said, I just want you to know, for 9 years, you have been making my Halloweens amazing. And it was so cute. He was 9 years old.
Wow.
And he's like, this is like my dream. This is everything to me. And his dad said, we don't even live close to here. Like, we come from a couple miles away and we drive by and we get out of the car. So Ken's like, come on in. So we had him.
First of all, he said, I want to give you a
now
gift.
I have a gift.
We're like, oh my gosh, okay.
Yes, he had a
Dad,
gift
is
for
that
us.
okay? And Dad's like, yes. So he brings us, he walks up with something behind his back and he gives us a plush toy.
This
But it's a big lizard, iguana.
Big iguana.
And
it was big. It was really cute.
And that to him was, really a gift. Like, he really wanted to share a stuffed animal with us, and he didn't know that we are the lizard house as well, because we've had
Right.
hundreds of bearded dragons, and we have a chameleon currently.
Okay, we sound really weird.
No, you
What
sound really
happened,
awesome.
I'm allergic
So-
to anything furry, so we had to have lizards instead of
Well,
dogs. And
I
everything.
love that, by the way. It makes such a fun place to be, even when it's not Halloween. But I will say, because Ken, you said that you were doing it for the kids. I think you're also doing it for the families.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
imagine
Sure.
you and I, we're parents, and when you can find a great activity, a safe, fun activity for your kid, oh my God, your heart soars,
Yeah.
right? And also, I want to comment on that little boy. This is very crazy, amazing humans, because you guys are embodying generosity and giving back. He wanted then to give to
That's
you.
right.
Yes.
That's
So
the point of
the
that.
feeling that,
It
wow,
was
I'm inspiring
really
someone to do
special.
that. All right, so I have another question.
Just to
Go
cap
ahead.
that, we did bring him inside to the inner sanctum and showed him Halloween Village, and you literally thought he died and went to heaven. And he was just staring, and he was
so sweet.
no words. He just stood there, and he could not. It's like the first time you see HD. First time it was like too much information to take in. He was
Right.
just absolutely overwhelmed, and that's the beauty. And so there's that dream. There's that we keep alive, and there's that wonderment that is so special, and that is the magic, and that's what we That's what we peddle.
Right. Well, and you make such a connection with the community at large, not just around the, in the neighborhood. All right. So how did you get from having the Terminator and the Hulk coming to your door for candy, and then however many people that was, to what how many people come? Do you know, have an estimate?
The local police department, they estimate that
Yes.
we have 13 to 15,000 people come to our corner.
Wow.
Now the streets are blocked off, and so that invites more. But that's just to give you a sense. That's what we have now. We also have about 5,000 people come to our front door, and then go through our haunted house. And in the backyard,
Yes, we have a party that's about 1,000 people throughout the
Wow.
course of the night, for sure.
lots of candy.
So-
and that party, correct me if I'm wrong, is part of how you celebrate charity. You do this big
Yes.
thing. Not only are you giving back to the community, but then you also designate the night as a way to be a fundraiser for a charity, right?
That's correct.
And so this year, the charity.
Yes, it's for Children's Hospital Los Angeles, GOFARR, and they support organ regenerative research. So they are an amazing organization, and they are usually the people we promote. There was a time there was a child who had cancer who was in our church, and we did a fundraiser for him. But generally, the Shankmans who started GOFARR are very good friends of ours. So we have been doing it for their charity for years, and it's been great. And it works out perfectly because it's for Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which takes in any child. If they are sick, they take them in. So it's
You want to
great.
talk about magic
Yes.
for kids?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is
That
it.
encompasses it
Yes.
right there.
And they invited you to do music for their group, haven't they? Like at the hospital?
So
Am I
yes,
wrong?
yes. Did you go with me?
I did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
I was trying to be humble.
I know. Good job. So
Good luck.
yeah, we've gone there and we've played for events at Children's Hospital. Yes, we've been ambassadors for Children's Hospital and
Right.
done various fundraisers. It's
I
good.
will say that we have raised tens of thousands of dollars for our school, for our children's school.
Wow.
And that's been 12, 15 years
Yes.
that we've done this. And we actually have, it's called the Party Book, and we literally have given slots away to come into the backyard party and go through the Halloween house and get your, stuffed animal. And that was wildly popular.
Yes.
It was booked, sold out.
It was always sold out in like 10 minutes.
Within
Yeah.
10 minutes. So,
Yeah.
so
It was
that
very-
gives you, a sense of.
Right.
So we're trying to cover a lot of different bases
Yes,
with this.
we do what we can with it. So when we
Of
can give back, we
course.
do. Last year, a lot of city council people came, and actually one of the city council members said, I always came to your Halloween here. I've always come here, and something I always loved about it was just interesting. He goes, you were not only having this party in the backyard, which of course I couldn't get into because I didn't know you all, but you were doing something for the community outside the whole time. He goes, and that really made me respect you all. It wasn't about just you guys were doing all of that. I don't know. That was
Yeah.
just something he
Yeah.
said, and I was
No,
like,
that's-
okay, well, I'm glad I wasn't even thinking of like theoretically being judged for our party, but that
But
was,
just the levels that
Yeah.
you're thinking through, like
Yeah.
how can we give more? Like we're making a great event, but maybe it's got legs beyond just the event, which is
so
what
we
you
have
guys are
local
doing.
officials that come, and we've had the mayor come with the chief of police,
Mm-hmm.
and this year Katrina came up with an idea. Why don't we have the officers and firemen come the weekend before
Yes.
to say thank you and bring their children so they can see kind of the inner sanctum. We're going to walk them through and let
So-
them have a unique trick-or-treating experience.
So we're going to have like a private trick-or-treating experience for our police officer families and the firefighters' families.
Wow.
So hopefully this
Yeah.
happens. It's our first year.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to do it, but then COVID came, and we had to not do Halloween one year because we didn't want to, attract a crowd. We didn't want to concern our neighbors. So we were dark that year, and we had a big sign out that said, 2020's been scary enough. We'll see you in 2021.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
that's what we did that
Yeah.
year. So we
And
did shut
but we
it
still
down.
put out,
Yeah.
a
a little bit, but we
a
didn't
little
want to
bit, but
decorate
didn't
too
want to
much
create a
because we didn't
crowd,
want
and we're trying to be
yeah.
respectful.
Right. But boy, I bet you people were so happy when it came back.
Yes.
Well,
Woo,
in
like
a
a
fury
flood.
last
Yes.
year.
Yeah,
I bet.
It was oversubscribed, as you can imagine. As it usually is.
Yeah.
So I know you guys do it as a family. You mentioned how you and your son, put together, roll up your sleeves, start and put things together. But you do more than that. You actually dress up as a family and you get like a little photo thing going. There's a theme going every year.
Yes.
And I hope we're going to have a minute to show a clip of them putting together. Was this last year's theme?
Yes, last
The
year's
Addams
theme, we were the Addams family. Yes.
So if we can, let's roll that clip and you
Yes.
can hear it. If you can't see it, you'll hear it. But then go to YouTube and watch it.
There you go. It's super fun. And actually, during COVID, we started a tradition of a family dinner. We usually never have time.
Oh,
where we're
no time
also,
to do that.
But because of COVID, we weren't doing all that. So we said, let's do a family dinner. We'll all dress up, and and so now we have actually integrated that into our tradition as a family. So we do
That's
this
wonderful.
themed dinner. This year, we're doing Lord of the Rings theme, and we are creating the
new
Shire
version or the old
dinner in
version?
the Shire, and we're doing
Old.
the old version
There's no
for
new.
sure. And
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm a new Lord of the
Just
Rings
kidding.
denier.
So the kids say it's like one of their favorite nights all year long.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
Halloween is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're just, hey,
Halloween-
I think I see my child over there.
Right.
Halloween's
yeah.
like your wedding.
Yeah.
Around here, you just
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't remember
and I
parts
don't
of it
remember.
because
I
you're
don't know who
just
was there.
so
It's
busy.
too
Right.
much.
Katrina's
Yeah.
got, I mean, the amount of food that's consumed in beverage
Yeah.
is, and so it's just crazy, and the lights that go out, and
I know.
the issues that we have. But I mean, we've been blessed because it's gone.
Yes, we've been so blessed. I'm
without
knocking
any
on wood
major
right now
hitch,
because we just care about people's safety, number one.
Yeah.
So that's that.
So-
and that's why we appreciate the police and the fire department
Right.
so much, because they keep our neighborhood safe and they're here for us.
But a gesture of thanks
Yeah.
because they're here
We're so
working
grateful to
Halloween
them
night
all
to
year
make
long.
sure everybody's
All
safe,
year
and you're
long.
just giving them a thank you,
Yes.
a private thank you.
We have security officers that are here. That a lot of them are police officers that have retired,
Right.
and so
we hire them for private
them,
security here.
and then we have them around the house and at strategic spots outside to manage the crowd.
Right, to make sure
So
everyone has a
safety
good
is
time
Yes.
and a
principle.
safe time.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want you to give away any secrets, but do you have...
won't.
I'll ask, and you can say, next question. Have you decided what your family theme is this year?
Yes,
Yes.
it is Lord of the
It
Rings.
is Lord of the
It is going to, we are Lord of the Rings.
So you
We've
are...
got Gandalf here.
I figured.
Gandalf
Come
the
on,
Grey.
that's it.
All
Gandalf
right.
the Grey. Okay.
Who's
Well-
going to go...
well,
who's going to say... Who's going to say...
That's a shot.
That's
below
as
the-
opposed to
shot
Gandalf the
below
White.
microphone.
I mean, that also. Yes.
So who's going to be my precious?
Oh. We don't really have
Oh,
him.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Jefferson,
That's
you
fitting.
are.
I'll look for that.
Jefferson, you are.
By the way, I just want to point out something that I'm sure our viewers have noticed as well. So when you get involved in a big event like your Halloween, to take a moment to say, you know what, I also don't want to forget the important microcosm of celebrating family. The fact that you do the
Yes.
dinner before you know what I mean? Like you
Yes.
can say, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted from doing the big event.
Yeah.
But no, you took the time to think,
That would be Katrina. That would be the Madame of Macabre over here.
who is crazy amazing.
She pushes for that, and I honestly push back and go, I don't know if we can do that. It was so wildly popular the last couple of years that we put together, a Scooby-Doo screening the other night, and Katrina sent out a text, and everybody responded instantly, and we got 3 kids, and they don't do that all the time, and so they
grown
respond
most
like,
of
we'll be there, and so we had this wonderful event where we brought in food, and we watched this movie, and we all just...
In our basement. I don't know if it could be called an event, but I love that it felt like an event in the end.
And
It is,
it was
though.
just
the
our
credits
family.
scrolled, and we
yeah.
sat through the entire credits
brand new
because we
Scooby-Doo
were all
2022.
there, and we all went, wow, wasn't that great?
Yes.
So let's watch it again.
And we were Scooby-Doo. We did the whole
Right.
Scooby-Doo gang 3 years ago.
Which
So
we should
fine.
show as well. We
Yeah,
should-
it's really cute.
So when you
picture of that.
when you do the family event and you get together like this, it is an amazing bonding time.
It is.
To remind you, like you're about to be an empty nester, empty nesters.
Yes.
So I'm sure that anybody who's gotten old enough to go, and remember all the magic that you've created over the years, they want to come back and share, at least make new memories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? In this
Yes,
dinner
and
thing.
this is our 26th year of doing Halloween, and we
Wow.
definitely have full-grown adults who I'm thinking, oh, they must be in their 30s, who are like, we came to your Halloween
Yeah.
every day, like, can't believe you're still doing it. We're so happy you're
Right.
still doing this.
Yeah.
And then the big question, how long will you be
Yes.
doing this?
So
We get that.
she's reading my mind, dear viewer and listener. So, all right, now you're an empty nester, and do you feel like, okay, the kids are gone, I am so done, or what? What are you
It's
What are your
so
plans
hard.
moving forward?
Put it this way, after every Halloween, I say, that's it.
That's our last
We're done.
What Ken does outside and the cleanup is 3 days, and I mean of constant. But honestly, it looks really good after a day and a half.
Well,
but-
that's part of the magic. That's something
Yeah.
that we should talk about quickly. The idea is, we've got a boat, we've got cars, we've
Yeah.
got animatronics. I mean, it is
And live
full-fledged.
actors.
It's
Live,
Disneyland.
yes.
People
We
call
have-
it Disneyland for Halloween.
Yeah, we'll
okay?
have 13 live actors.
So the
this year.
next day, the mantra is to get everything off of the lawn and put away in the back, and a lot of it put away.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the kids come back from school around 3:30, they pull up and they look around and go, is this where is
Yes,
this?
people literally come up and go, wait a minute.
It was like last night was
like
a dream.
magic.
It was like magic. And and we were pretty good at that.
Yes, we are.
Last year we had the boat because we couldn't get the boat towed away. So it kind of blew that. But that's that idea, because we really do focus on the kids, the wonderment, and just looking like, where is everything? Wait a minute, was that the other corner that is down the block?
Love that.
And that's what it is. And I'm telling you, it works. And to hear it over and over. I'll tell a real quick story about our daughter was a brownie. Katrina was a brownie leader. And
they were delivering cookies.
And we were delivering down the street.
To the neighbors who had ordered them. Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody opened up the door, a mother opened up the door and said, "Oh my gosh, you guys are the Halloween house." I'm like, "Yeah, here's your cookies, we got more to deliver." Right. And she goes, would you mind coming in, the two of you, and I want to show you something. And she yelled up for her daughter upstairs, and she said, "We're going to come up." I'm like, "Okay, this feels a little weird, but I'm with my daughter, and she's, it's fine." And they were only 8 homes down. And so we went upstairs into her daughter's room, and there was a shelf that had each year that we had given out the stuffed animals every year. And right below it was a little placard, and it said 1998, 1999. And there are about 15 years, 12 years of each year. And that's how important it is to these kids. Yeah. And so I thought, wow, so we're doing something here. And every day she looks at that and sometimes she has to think that's the magic.
Creating community.
Traditions are
really
huge
is. And
for
something
us.
we do right out here every year too in September or early October is we have a gigantic block party for our neighborhood. And
again, community building.
It's like
yes, exactly.
600 people plus.
Wow.
We try to keep it not too big, but we do get people not just from our segment. Others will come because they'll know about it, or friends of friends will come. And interestingly, one of the city councilmen showed up this year and he said, "I want you to know that we just did a big study, like nationwide, to figure out how we can bring community back after COVID and because everyone's been separate." And he said the number one recommendation was a block party. And this block party has been going on here for 34 years.
34 years.
Wow. So we, when we came in, it was happening already. And we were immediately recruited to take over it. And speaking of keeping on doing Halloween, it is true. We don't know what to do because the community loves it so much. I mean, is it a lot? Yes. A lot. And when we are actually free birds after, they call it empty nesters or free birds. My sister says,
nice.
"Oh, you're a free bird." Who knows where we'll be, but I have a feeling we're going to try to do this for the community as long as we can keep it up. Maybe it'll be modified. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Could be hybrid.
Hybrid, kind of something.
Could be done remotely from the Bahamas. I don't know. It's
animatronics.
Yeah.
So
hey, that's a good idea.
Animatronic Ken.
Bing.
I'm here to help. So for our yes, I am. For not to help set up, but so for our viewers and our listeners, because you have 26 years of experience of putting it on and then experiencing it, young people, if someone wants to kind of create, maybe not at this scale, but some kind of cool Halloween community thing, do you have any advice?
Well, for sure. First of all, I don't know if anything really starts. I mean, maybe some things, but we started very small and it just grew every year extremely organically. It wasn't our intention to have this crazy Halloween extravaganza that it's become. You are talking to two creatives, Ken and myself,
you are right.
And we can kind of not help ourselves, but think of a new idea every year or a new vignette that we can put on the street. So we, it just kind of grew. And I think with anything that you feel passionate about or you really do understand that it's something that's feeding other people and yourself and it's it feels good, then you just continue to do it and grow it. And with Halloween, we started small and nobody has to do anything big. And I think that really we have a lot of kind of rules about what the things look like outside. We don't do blood and gore. We don't,
no nooses.
There's no nooses. There's nothing.
We try to stay away from the stuff that could be traumatizing for the kids.
Yeah. So even though we do, Ken does take a certain pride in the fact that we can scare people sometimes. And he was really good about just walking around the crowds and booing people from behind. Yeah.
The first time I should share this, the first time I came, I brought my kids and you scared the bejesus out of both my kids. And you had to stop and go, no, it's me, because they were like, freak. You're good at it.
Sorry about your pants. Yeah, I mean, that's
But so like for example, churches have trunk and treat, or they may not be able to theme it, but they could do
What is
something
it called? Trunk
and treat. So in the parking lot, everyone's got like their car is a station. Because, and I'm sure you thought
I
of
think
this.
it's drunken treat.
Well, no, that was mine. No, not at all.
Bobbing for fermented apples.
But because parents are always like, as I said earlier, looking for something good, wholesome, fun.
Yes.
Get a little bit magic for their kids.
Get your neighbors and do a little something together.
How would someone like do that if you were starting from scratch? How would you do that?
It's just like, what we did. We invited friends over.
Oh, right. So
we
that's
just invited
how the
friends
backyard,
over, and really part of the magic when we first started was we had a party afterwards.
Yeah.
And people would hang out, and we had chili on the stove, and so we would hand out candy in a very humble way, and then we'd all the families that were invited back then that attended still talk about how the origins all of this,
OG,
and they loved hanging out just with the families afterwards, and the kids, of course, were ODing on candy and sugar, but it was like that the moment that the adults would tell the stories, what was your favorite costume and all that stuff. So it started very small, very organically, and then it grows.
We live in a big city, and so with our friends, and these were our kids' friends' parents who we'd have over because we're going to have the kids go trick-or-treating, and I think a lot of people experience that. Your kids want to trick-or-treat with their friends, so then you figure out whose neighborhood has the houses close together, place where people do trick-or-treating, and that's why we became the people that people came to, because at the very beginning with our little group of friends was because we had a great trick-or-treating neighborhood, and that's what we're in an area where trick-or-treating is embraced, and it's a lot of families, and so that's why we're here and why it started, how it started.
We gave away big candy bars, and
we did in the day,
and
back in the day.
Quite a few pieces of candy, and
then
we moved
joined in with the neighborhood.
Then we moved into the stuffed animals.
It's like another block party in a way. You can make it a community. Like you said, there's a lot of conversation. The kids are playing.
Yeah.
And now all the neighbors are in on it. Like so many. If they have families and kids, they're decorating their house. It's probably not like maybe Norman Rockwell, middle America. We live in the Los Angeles area. So it's a different place here. But people are embracing us, and they know that we really respect, and we're not trying to trample on this neighborhood. It's not about us. It's really become a community thing.
Yeah, wow, and it really, what's great about it is there are a couple neighbors that have become, cornerstones of it as well. And people ask us all the time, hey, what do you think of the competition? It's like, no, that's no competition. It's not. It's a village, and we love it. Whenever somebody puts something up,
it makes us feel
we go,
so
oh my
happy.
gosh, look, Halloween. And so these streets, this neighborhood, this corner really goes all in, and so that's what helps make the magic too, because it's a big community effort.
That police report I read where you were supposedly at 3 a.m. tearing down someone's decorations, that wasn't you?
No, that was me.
Oh, it was you.
Yes.
And your big happy Halloween where
Where do you think we got all this stuff?
So as we're wrapping this up, do you have anything else that you'd love to share with our crazy, amazing community about Halloween, about creating the kind of fun magic stuff on any level people can do, anything like that I maybe haven't asked you about?
So for us, Halloween is about, community, dressing up, having fun. Some people go into this idea that there's something with the occult or something like that. That just has nothing to do to us with Halloween. It's really just dressing up and having a little fun, right?
It's a time to suspend reality and just enjoy yourselves. And our kids
make believe.
Yeah, our kids have gone in for it in a big way. And we see how much they have enjoyed it and the magic that's instilled in them. And so we hope they take over and run it from this point on. No, but that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It truly is. We've mentioned it, but it is about family. It's about community, and it's about a shared idea, which is just to have fun, to dress up and have fun and taste some of that Halloween magic.
I love that, and I think, gosh, we need that in this world. We need spaces where kids can be kids.
Yeah, that's so true.
Right? Kids of all ages, dare I say.
Kids of all ages. And it's fun to be kid. And it's so fun for us as adults, and it's true. Going all the way back to when we trick-or-treated, as at 18 and 20, which you are really too old, right? But, that is
Never too
never
old.
are too old.
To have fun.
Keep the magic up. You guys keep having fun. It doesn't matter if you don't even have kids in the house anymore. You still can do Halloween and have some fun.
Right.
It's so
fun
cute to
ways
see
to
the
get back.
kids' faces, their eyes, their smiles,
Well,
their screams.
Right. Well, first thing I'm going to say is if you're listening or watching whatever platform you're enjoying this episode, please add a comment of your favorite Halloween experience or something that inspired you about this time
would
of
be
year.
Really cool. We'd love to hear your stories.
Yes. So I got to thank you both. Thank you for letting me twist your arm. Thank you for sharing this an amazing event that you put on every year. It's just so inspiring, and it's doing so much good. The ripple effects of the goodness.
Thank you, Jefferson.
Oh, yeah. So I must say, you are both, I get to say it, you are both crazy amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy Halloween.
Love you
Halloween.
all. Take good care, crazy, amazing humans community.
Right.
Happy Halloween.
Be safe. Have a great time.
I want you to feel, I want you to feel something crazy, crazy, amazing.
If you have any questions or comments about today's episode, please make sure to write us at crazyamazinghumans@gmail.com.